Hello music listeners, underground enthusiasts, it's getting sticky in this bitch. So Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator recently came out, but before that it was announced, so people knew that it was coming out, and along with it, box sets with hats and shirts and CDs were announced, and I panic bought one because I was like, oh, maybe I'll get one of these. They seem pretty cool, and then I realized how popular Tyler the Creator is, and I was like, well, if I don't buy one now, then they're gonna be sold out like very quickly, and so I panic bought one, and then I forgot about it. And then the album came out, and I still forgot that I got it. And then one day, this thing showed up on my doorstep. So I figured we could do a little fun little unboxing video, like a real YouTuber, before the actual video starts. I'm already wearing the shirt that came with it. So just like pretend that I pulled that out, and I was like, oh, whoa, this is so cool. Let's put it on, see how it looks. So in the box, we'll open this bad boy up. Well, one comes a CD. Now, I think this is pretty cool, but I don't have a CD player in my car. I did have a CD player in my 2008 Kia Sportage, but the transmission on it blew up. And so, you know, now I don't have one. Also, in the box is this cool thing right here. It's a little poster. Can you guess what's on it? It's the album cover. I don't have a frame to put this in, and I would feel like I was back in college if I just taped it up to my wall, and I don't want to feel like I'm back in college. So I will probably either buy a frame for it or never take it back out of this box again. And that is the Chromacopia box set. This is a cool little bit of packaging. I think it's real cute, and also the album's good. So, new week, new songs. Let's get into it. The first track that I want to discuss this week is Happy Wife with I Still Think About It, the first Happy Wife song, the debut Happy Wife song. And right out of the gate, this is one of my favorite songs of the year. I feel like with each new listen, I gain something new, I find a new detail, and I peel back another layer of the track. Happy Wife taps into the creative philosophy of the sentimental rap pop bangers of the late 2000s and early 2010s. Think Stereo Hearts by Gym Class Heroes. Think Maroon 5's Payphone with the Wiz Khalifa verse. Think like any Flowbot song. And although I feel like this song leans into the sonic and writing aesthetics of that time, I don't hear it as an imitation or even really an homage, but more of an expansion upon it. The Bitcrush piano loop, the synthetic and buzzing vocal mix, and the personality all feel very fresh within the confines of that sound. Happy Wife's vocal delivery here on the hook is smooth, crooning melancholic sentimentalities, while the rap verses lean into a more nasally, stylish mumble. And the emotional impact of the bridge-chorus combo is such a perfect dichotomy, playing against each other so well to feel so inspiring and personal and grand. The second verse is probably even better than the first verse, with an incredible delivery and some poignant writing, and some really interesting sounds and takes. It feels like such a slow pitch meant to set up the grand slam of the final hook. And the I Still Think About It lines, surrounded by these wide chants, is mesmerizing. This feels timeless, really. It feels like a timeless song. I'm super stoked to hear that this is the sound that Happy Wife is going to tackle going forward in this debut release, and I cannot wait for the next song. And then up next we have Lavera with Save Me. I last talked about Lavera when analyzing her track Let Go, which I praised very highly, and I think I put it on my end of the year list as well, for its glossy R&B production and this girl group fueled melody. And although there have been releases between that track and this one, this still comes off of a 9-month break with no new Lavera music. So I'm happy to hear that Save Me is also an incredibly shiny, intimate R&B track. Her breathy vocals over these futuristic melodies and these sliding 808s is so intoxicating and hypnotic, especially when she gets into this heavily vibratoed I'm far away, yay, 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 you know what I mean. And the splashes of D&B influence in the drum work give the song an eclectic and engaging and electrifying sound, you know, sparking some energy in an otherwise kind of slow-moving and pleasant track, with these super fast, tight drum patterns stuttering beneath her kind of whistling croons. It's catchy and infectious. I love her approach to the sound and how well she plays to her strengths to make a relatively busy track feel pretty seamless. And then we have Suroki with Idiot. This is underground electronic pop at its fucking peak, man. Instrumentally, this song has enough layers to dissect listen after listen after listen, hitting playful and clean piano melodies, expansive ambiances that slide seamlessly into sharp stutters of synth chords, chaotically complex drum patterns, tense risers. And the trick lies within the transition between these sounds, because the structure and progression of it all feels so natural, so smooth. You kind of don't realize how much texture and sound design is absolutely crammed into this track, because every note and decision it feels so meticulously planned. And the writing and performance on this track are absolutely killer, really reflecting this playfully introspective narrative. The vocals are mixed disgustingly clean, and the little ad-libs in the first verse are quirky and engaging in all the best ways. And any vocals not sterilized by the mix here have this really cool modulation and saturation on them that give the hook a really cool sort of raspy texture. This is a song that keeps on giving. In terms of current electronic artists, suroki is hard to beat. Dying for Certain has a new track with The Colors You Remind Me Of. I gotta talk about him again, because the release of Cut From The Stem a month ago is still pretty fresh on the mind, and I think that this new song takes what I loved about that song and improves upon it in most areas. The mix feels less caught up in internet emo sensibilities and leans much heavier and confidently into this tired slowcore rock. The warm lo-fi tone feels balanced and well mixed, and with the textured dragged strums feeling more akin to analog textures than synthetic ones, even if they are, synthetically mixed. I'm sure they are. I'm sure that it wasn't, ran through fucking equipment, but my point is it feels more balanced, less so overtly mixed to be that way. And the whining guitar plucks that are hard panned and scattered throughout the song feel so dramatic and melancholy. It's so easy to hold on to each and every one with such a poignant tension. I also like Dying for Certain's vocals on this one a lot more than his last release. It's a smoother, less processed mix with a breathier, more natural delivery that I think plays out really well. The breathy and weary tone feel much more innate to the performance rather than a forced style, and it feels so genuinely raw and pained as a result. This is a step up in every way. Skrwd has got a new track with 304. Skrwd champions the era of sad bangers on this track, of course within the context of his, by this point, incredibly distinct sound. Because every Skrwd song does feel really stylish and unique, yet equally familiar as well, with lyrical themes and emo influences long embedded in the cultural zeitgeist of underground music, but with a certain flair that prevents a fully committed integration, more of a subversion really. The mix on the song is so tinny, crisp, and thin. In terms of vocals, there really isn't any lower end body to ground the delivery at all. But in that decision, Skrwd's vocals under this metallic squeeze feel so intimate because of how surrounded by everything else on the rest of the song they seem. Combined with his pleading and occasionally angry delivery, roller coaster flows, and vivid imagery, it's all really a rather compelling sound. I like what Skrwd does, and even within his well-crafted formula, most of everything he does feels fresh and honest. Not to mention, a lot of his writing is deceptively complex. I feel like when you sort of look past these flows and you look past the sound, there is so much going on and so much information to be revealed, and I think that it's presented in really interesting and unique ways. Skrwd killed this, and I'm not surprised by that at all. Simon M has dropped a powerhouse of a track with Malibu, featuring Yazida, Angelus, 4CF, and Mental. Beyond being an incredibly talented and forward-thinking producer, Simon is also a well-educated and refined curator of artists. Pairing these artists specifically together on this track was pretty much the perfect recipe for success, with the varied and versatile production of the track doing a lot of the heavy lifting to make each individual style come together to form one cohesive sound. This instrumental is ridiculously good. I mean, one of those beats that's so pristine it kind of makes you a little mad. The groovy warbled bass lines are such a insane vibe. The funk and dance influence on this track create so much movement and life in the song, and that's not even getting into the dubstep breakdown. My point is, this instrumental is gorgeous, and each and every vocalist kills it here, feeling so comfortable crooning and rapping and shouting over each twist and turn that the beat throws at you. It's so cohesive and fun, and I think that really is my main takeaway here, is the song is fun. It's so much fun. It's a whole lot of fun. I love it. Last song we are getting into this week is Skele with Important, and I think that the more Skele leans into this indie rock sound, the more that his writing thrives. I feel like I've said this a bunch of times, but I'm going to say it again because I love the sound. And although I do love the reverb-soaked ballads that Skele has essentially perfected down to a science by this point, the more steady, dreamy folk sound works really well here. The warmth of the instrumental, especially in the lightly saturated drums, is so pleasant and sonically satisfying to listen to, maintaining the same consistent, reliable groove for pretty much the entire song, just momentarily cutting out in some key areas for vocal emphasis, which feels so much more impactful due to the lack of variation in the instrumental. You hold on to each change. And vocally, Skele matches this energy, trading massive dramatic peaks and delicate lows for a consistent middle ground of emotion and delivery, maintaining a soft, pretty energy for, you know, most of the track, playing into the dejection of the writing. Honestly, with how nice this song sounds and the aesthetics it leans into, I really wish that it would fully commit to the genre and like fucking double its length. I think that Skele could really play into his strengths here in this dynamic indie sound and really create some cool ideas with a 4, 5, 6 minute song that sounds like this. Great as always. And that is going to do it for this week's list of songs. If you listen to these songs, comment below and tell me how you feel about them. If you haven't listened to these songs, go listen to them, come back, and tell me how you feel about them. I value your opinion. This is a two-way street, baby. You gotta say something or else I'm just talking to the void. Catch me in the next video where I say hyperpop. Bye.